What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sir Splash. In lieu of me having a couple big battles coming out, one of which is Jedi Order vs. Akatsuki, which should be coming out end of this week, hopefully, and then I have Luke Skywalker vs. Sasuke Uchiha, which is also being animated. So those two are in the works, and while those are developing, I've decided to go ahead and do a fun versus battle originally posed to me by my homie Cyber, in which it's Count Dooku from Star Wars, the esteemed Sith leader, versus Mr. Sinister, a villain that's been a thorn in the side of the X-Men for a very long time. These two are well-known schemers in their verses, and if they were to clash, who would win? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. So first is Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is one of the villains from Marvel Comics, a mainstay in the X-Men comics. While he's not always around and isn't even really a main villain, he's constantly scheming. He was originally a 19th century scientist granted power and longevity by Apocalypse, and is one of the superior geneticists in Marvel Comics, and as a result has a few powers of his own that when he directly confronts the X-Men allows him to compete with them. So going over some of the things he can do. He has molecular control of his entire body. He can tank his torso being completely blown up. He has actually been able to neg Emma Frost's telepathy, who is considered possibly Omega level with her telepathy, although, you know, she's kind of a jobber, but whatever. He's been able to go toe-to-toe with Hope Summers in a telepathic battle. He's had battles on the astral plane before and been just fine. Rogue attempted to absorb him once in the older comics, and he was able to actually overcome this through his sheer willpower. He can use telekinesis to even snap the necks of others and throw X-Men around. His energy blasts have worn down Wolverine before and kept him from coming forward, as well as knock away X-Men. He's been able to one-shot Gambit with his energy blasts. He's capable of ragdolling Beast, even when Beast actually got the drop on him first. He has a strong force field capable of holding off multiple X-Men at once. He's blocked blasts from Havoc just fine before. He's gone up against X-23 and Dakin and absolutely bullied them, including casually de-limbing the legs of Dakin, however you want to call him, the son of Wolverine. And he can go toe-to-toe with and tank hits from Colossus even in a weakened state. On top of this, he also has clones and is, like I said, has complete control of his molecular body, so he can adjust in battle when necessary. Moving on to the other side of things is Count Dooku. Count Dooku originally started out as an esteemed Jedi. He was pretty much second to Yoda in terms of seniority on the council. Once Qui-Gon Jinn, his former pupil, died and he kind of started disagreeing with the ways of the Jedi, Dooku abandoned the Jedi and joined the Sith Order under Emperor Sidious. During this time, during the Clone Wars, he was the chief strategist for the separatist side of things, and had many encounters with high-level and regular Jedis, and proved to be an absolute force against all of these before eventually he met his end against Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. So Count Dooku is actually very strong. He can ragdoll the likes of Anakin and Kenobi in several fights, destroy droids easily, snap necks, throw around Jedi like Quinlan Vos with, quote, inhuman strength, casually hold off the blows of Mace Windu and Yoda in lightsaber combat. In terms of his lightsaber combat, he's one of the best duelists in Star Wars history. He uses Makashi, which is almost a fencing style, in which he uses minimal movement and absolute perfect, basically, preservation of movement, uses precise strikes and counters pretty easily, and basically you come to him and he picks you apart, takes you down with ultimate finesse. Specifically, his style as well is developed for one-on-one saber combat, so He literally built himself to be capable of taking on anyone in a one-on-one combat. As far as saber feats, he's beaten Anakin and Kenobi both together and separately. He's held his own against Yoda even before he was a Sith. They sparred regularly. He's actually beaten Mace Windu in a sparring session before and regularly tied him. And all in all, he's one of the most celebrated duelists ever, including thrashing the likes of Sora Bulk and Thulm. Sora Bulk was actually a Jedi master who was similar to Sindralig, and he was a blade master and sword teacher, so he knew every form. Still got bullied by Dooku. When it comes to the Force, Dooku knows pretty much every Jedi sophisticated trick, including mind tricks, illusions, stealth, tactics. On top of this, he studied many Sith holocrons, over 5 years of just studying, and so he knows Sith techniques as well, including advanced lightning, in which he can implement telekinesis with his lightning to throw you around. He can neg being drained. He is able to fly, create doppelgangers, in which he splits himself into two, and his doppelgangers can even compete with Anakin and Kenobi. He's able to mind read, wipe some memories, play with your mind, even against the likes of Kenobi, who can neg planetary force nexuses. And he can ragdoll even the high tier Jedi with the Force. He's even thrown Mace off a cliff before. He's able to match Yoda in the output in the Force. And overall, Count Dooku is one of the most dangerous yet low-key characters in Star Wars. So, if these two characters were to meet in battle, who do I think would win? So, in terms of versatility, Dooku might have a slight edge because of his lightsaber and up-close combat. He could pick apart Sinister if they were to get up close. Most likely what would happen is him and Sinister would have a duel of sorts with other means of battle, which would include, TK, telepathy. I don't think either would really get the drop on one another in this way, and eventually it probably would get up close and personal, in which I favor Dooku to win. However, what I think should be noted is that if this was a long sustained battle in which prep times included or ability to come back after the initial loss, Sinister stomps. He's absolutely impressive with prep time, one of the best in Marvel. He's just very low key about it. Fun fact, when I was younger, I actually thought he didn't have any powers. I thought he was just a hood rat who was able to do stuff with prep time and an absolute genius. But yeah, he has clones that he would be able to come back with to fight Dooku. So in a long haul of a war, he would stomp Dooku. But in the initial fight, I favor Dooku's versatility, quickness, and his more complete fighting package in the initial front, and he would get the initial victory. In the end, for the first fight, I picked Dooku, and I just acknowledged the fact that, Sinister in a war or with prep stomps. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Weigh in on the battle yourself. It's been your boy, Sir Splash. I hope this holds you down until my other videos drop, and I will see y'all later. Peace.